I think boundaries is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Well, I wrote down in my notes, it's a God thing, not a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yes.
And I had wrote down boundaries is good for focusing on setting limits to maintain stewardship, good stewardship.
Ooh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and the Bible talks about not being in the world, but you're of the world. And it's really hard when you live in such a fallen world to have boundaries. It's a strength for sure.
Yes.
But I was taught it in Tri City Recovery, and there's some book out on boundaries that I had gotten. I think I let someone borrow it, but it was good. It was a lot of legalism, I feel like, instead of
Yeah.
freedom. Some people need more in depth boundaries set in their life, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I don't, you know what? I think there's probably some people who really don't even know like what a boundary is. You know what I mean? Like, um,
Let's look up the definition.
yes.
Like the real, what do you think boundaries is? What's
I
your
think
definition?
my definition would be um there's a line, you know, and um this is what I'll allow and this is what I do not allow. And there's no gray area. You know, this is this and this is this. And please do not cross this because, ooh, and I just read something too. I actually wrote it down in my notes. Um, in Mark 12:31, it says to love my neighbor as myself, which means I can't neglect me while trying to show up for someone else.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so,
Yeah. The definition that I looked up, a boundary is a limit, margin, or dividing the line that defines acceptable behaviors. It protects personal well being and separates and ties whether physical, emotional, or mental. So yeah, that and I wrote down in my notes, setting boundaries helps you with peace, spiritual health, rather than selfish self protection, controlling oneself and not others. Boundaries. I thought that was a really good one because I can set a boundary because I'm not going to, the Bible speaks of it in Titus 2:12. And it talks about self control versus controlling others. We are to
true.
control our own behavior. So we set the boundaries for us, but also for others,
Yes.
especially there's a lot more boundaries if you lived a life of addiction. You know,
Yes.
say like I used to smoke meth, and I will not drive down a certain road that I used to live on, and that is a boundary that I made because I just don't want to. I don't need to. Especially if someone's being clean a couple days, you do not need to go down that road that you used to go down because that could lead to a trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
There
that make
are,
sense?
yeah, definitely. Like when I first came home, there were certain roads that I went down. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I was going to experience that, you know. And so when I went down, there was this road. I went down it, and I was just like, holy moly! Like, okay, this is a real thing, you know. Which,
Yeah,
you know, I knew triggers were real. I just hadn't experienced one like that for myself yet, you know.
especially if you see like, oh, there's such and such car there, and
Yeah,
well, my
yeah,
ex-boyfriend's there, or
yeah.